Hello guys, my name is Paddy and I welcome you to Dem Farms. Over here, you already know how we do it. We always show how farms work. It's been some time since we posted here. We took a short break to have some other things done. And we are back. And I wish I had a very phenomenal news, after this long break. Yeah, we have some good things that we would like to share with you. But first things first, it is very important that we let people who also follow this channel, who want to know how things are going, also know the reality on the ground. And it is quite sad that we've lost about 1,000 fingerlings on our fish farm. So we just want to share with you so that if you are a fish farmer, whether at a beginner stage or you are not thinking of going into it, you know some of the very common mistakes that could cost you this much. All the causes through which we lost these things were our own mistakes. One thing about a fish farm is that it is very delicate as compared to pig farming or goat farming, things that we also do on this farm. So if there are things that you have to do and you wait even for a very little time thinking that you could go back very soon and mitigate it, it could cost you this much. The first mistake is a very common one that so many people make on their farms. And the first thing is overstocking. We overstock our fish ponds. So if you have followed this channel for some time, probably you saw how or when we constructed our fish pond right till when we stocked them. We constructed 4 fish ponds with each of them measuring 25 by 50. So the first mistake we made was that when our first 10,000 fingerlings came, we should have used all the 4 fish ponds, but we used just 2 of them, with the plan that we were going to stock the other 2 with a different set of fingerlings. And that is where we made our first mistake, because what it meant was that each pond had 5,000 fingerlings, which was way too much, according to the standard or the good practices of fish farming. What that normally was going to cause, of course, there were going to be so much competition for food and space in each of them. So you are definitely going to have a few of the fingerlings, the very strong ones, who are always reaching out for the food at the expense of the other ones. So definitely they are going to grow bigger and end up feeding on the smaller ones, which is known as fish cannibalism. Do you get it? And these are all problems that we caused by, first of all, overstocking it. Because when we finally got down there, to do the sorting, we realized that, of course, the bigger ones have eaten a lot of the smaller ones, and some of them, they couldn't even finish eating, so we could see pieces all scattered down there. It wasn't a good thing to see. So overstocking was our first mistake. It is a very unforgivable one. No excuse for that. That is one thing that's going to cost you a lot if you don't do it right from the start. The second reason why we have lost this much on our fish farm is fish sorting. It is a very common practice. If you are willing to go into fish farming, then you should be ready to sort out your fishes on regular basis, because it is very natural that some of them are going to grow bigger than the others. Just the same way as humans, some of us grow faster and bigger than others, even though we may be younger than they are. It doesn't matter. So when they grow bigger than the others, cannibalism is a must. It is something that is definitely going to happen. So on timely basis, you have to sort them out into sizes so that you put the bigger ones in a different space from the smaller ones, giving the smaller ones chances to also feed well and grow to catch up with the big ones before you harvest them for the market. But we got very busy with some other things on the farm, which was our mistake. We should have paused on whatever we were doing and got the sorting done, because first they were overcrowded and we also delayed with the sorting. We just gave them enough space to eat up the smaller ones. So as I said, when we went down to finally do sorting, a lot of them had been eaten up and destroyed. And that is a very common mistake as well that people could make, because you may probably feel like you always have the time to do the sorting, but it is something that must be done regularly if you really want to maximize the output of your ponds. It is something that you shouldn't compromise on. It doesn't matter which system you are using, whether the 18 or whatever it is, you must get the sorting done as soon as possible. And the third one, that was the last way through which we lost some of our fishes, was the system we adapted to do the sorting. And I think this is where one of the disadvantages of the earthen pond comes in. It is not very easy for you to get the water out of the pond as compared to if we were operating with the concrete system or the tarpaulin system. Though I still prefer the earthen pond system. I think that is the best way to me. Yeah, but then it wasn't easy, because if you watch the video when we constructed it, we made some passages for the water to pass through when we want to get the water out of the system and put new ones in, but they couldn't really work well, so we had to adapt to different structures and approach. So we ended up using the water pump to draw the water out and to fill it with different ones. So in the process of doing this, we also destroyed some of the fingerlings, the very tiny ones that were not catching up with growth. Though that didn't cause a lot of harm, but still we lost some through that method. So it is something that you could be very much aware of if you're now going into the system or the business with how you construct your fish ponds. If it is the earthen pond, you make sure you have very good or adequate systems of getting the water out and filling it with new ones, because that is also one thing you have to be doing, changing the water regularly. There is not much information on how to change the water in the earthen pond system, so we are going to upload a video later on how we did ours exactly, to serve as just a guide for people if you're also in the same situation, to know how it is done, because that is our purpose here, to show how farms work. So if you are a newbie in fish farming, or you have some knowledge in fish farming and you would like to share with us in the comment section exactly how you are managing your system, we would appreciate that, because that is the only way through which we all can learn and develop the industry together. So that is it. So if the video has provided any valuable information to you, please just like and share, and if you just came across our video for the first time, kindly subscribe, stay with us for more valuable contents like this. My name is Paddy, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.